Alright guys, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how my boy Yegi went from not even having made a single dollar in SMMA to going from zero to over $12,000 cash collected with an additional 20K in contract value in just 2 weeks. Now, you might be getting a little annoyed because you're thinking, oh, here's another fucking guru coming on here trying to throat fuck me with case studies so I buy his program, which is exactly what I'm doing. And better yet, I'm sitting here trying to build my company while you're sitting on your ass watching me build mine. So without further ado, gonna start rolling the tapes and we're gonna watch how Yegi went from 0 to 12K a month cash collected with a brand new agency after struggling for years.
So you've been a hot topic of discussion around the community recently.
Yep.
What's your story?
Well, my name's Yegi. In Australia, obviously when I first started, went the same route as most people tried, dipped into that drop shipping world, tried that with my brother, didn't really do well, made no money off that. And then started, dabbling in SMMA last year, May. Obviously started off watching Iman, the generic people.
Yeah.
And then obviously, found people like you, Joel Kaplan, Charlie Morgan, started watching, your guys' content because you were actually giving out free value. And then and then just been watching your stuff, using your scripts, using your SOPs essentially. And then finally bit the bullet. Well, obviously, when you first start, I was getting clients here and there, high churn rate. You sign one, then you lose one next month. Yeah. And you're charging nothing. And then I was getting frustrated. So I finally bit the bullet, hopped on a call with Andreas, and he managed to close me.
Andreas is a fucking killer. Andreas is a killer. But I saw the Snapchat. I saw the Discord messages of you thanking him for doing that. So before this partnership and whatnot, where were you at, like in your agency, financially first?
Oh, in terms of the agency, nothing, like barely. Like I remember when I first started, I was doing so bad that I was literally charging $50 and a deposit. And then I was taking payments at the end of the month. Nice. And even at the payment at the end, it was only like $750, which was nothing. And then and then after joining, bumped the price up to like 3-4K. And then that's when people actually started taking you more seriously because higher return. Yeah. And then you start signing more clients.
Oh, amazing. So what about mentally and whatnot? Like, where were you kind of before you started? Like, did you believe in SMMA? Like, where were you at mentally?
I was actually quite doubtful, I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought all these programs and mentorships and courses, they're all like scams. And you see stuff on the TikTok saying like, you are the method. So I was not gonna lie, I was quite, hesitant and skeptical at first. But Andreas managed to close me, gave me confidence, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's just give it a go, see how it is. And then 2 weeks later, here we are.
Yeah, no, for sure. 2 weeks later, you said?
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks later, and here we are.
Okay, well, I want to dive into that in a second, but I'm curious then, like, if you were, doubtful, you are the method, like all that kind of stuff, like, why did you?
Oh, well, my mindset was that, like, this was like the final straw, I guess, in a way. Like, I was going to give you guys a shot. And then if I got scammed or this didn't work, I was going to just accept it, go to uni and just say, okay, it doesn't work. But obviously I joined. And because in the past when I was doing drop shipping, right, I was with their mentor and I kind of got burnt and they weren't following up with me. They weren't taking accountability. They were kind of ghosting me, etc. And that kind of, that left a bad taste in my mouth. And then this was like the final straw. And then obviously Stefan and Andreas always, they always encourage you, keep you accountable, make sure you're doing your outreaches, etc. And then,
you better fucking believe it, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not letting you fucking slack.
That's awesome. So, what has gone on over the last 2 weeks?
Really, the only thing is accountability. So obviously, Stefan has been on my ass getting me to do my outreach, and literally, pretty much the only thing that's changed is doubling down on my outreach. That's literally it. It's pretty simple, but guess I needed someone to tell me that.
Yeah, no, for sure. But then, like, I believe I saw the screenshot. You're at 12K now?
Yeah.
Cash collected. Hold on.
Cash collected.
There's more to that story.
Collected. What's the contract value on that?
Was it 3,500 AUD?
Like, I think in
3,500.
total,
3,500.
I think we just calculated it's like 22, 23K in fucking 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, 0 to 12K cash collected. Because I don't count revenue as how much you're making. I count how much money is hit your fucking bank account is how much you're making. So 0 to 12 in 2 weeks, but you got a good pipe. You got a good amount of money coming down the road. What kind of mindset changes? What kind of mindset shifts have you had?
Honestly, the biggest one is actually believing it works.
Yeah.
Because when I was on that first sales call with Andreas, he was asking me what my goal was after the end of the 3 months, and I said 10K, and he was like, "I'm not signing you on for 10K." So he made me, aim higher, and ultimately, change the view on on my goals and belief systems.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. 10K is not that much money.
Yeah, no.
10K is like the starting point. Like once you get 10K, it's like, okay, you kind of have an agency, and it's like now time to actually build an agency and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Question then, if you were to give yourself one piece of advice to the version of you, to the Yegi of a month ago, what would it be?
Just take more action. Just do more. Stop complaining and just do the work, because the outcome will come if you put in the work. So like I was so focused on the output, how much money I had, but Stefan, after joining the program, he's told me to not to worry too much about how much you're earning or what outputs you're getting, but just do the input, do the work, and then the action, you'll get your results in the future once you put in the work.
That's awesome. So if you were to mentor, let's say in a hypothetical position, you were able to mentor your younger self, what would you tell them that the most important thing to focus on when you're trying to go from 0 to 12K a month?
Client acquisition. Stop worrying about steps 8, 9, and 10 when you haven't even done steps 1 and 2. Like, so many people worrying about client, service delivery, this and that, taxes and all that, but it's like you don't even have the money yet. It's no point of worrying about that. You're just going to be in analysis paralysis, and you're just going to end up, it's going to turn you away from even hitting that, getting your first 1 or 2 clients.
That's awesome. It's so funny because it's like, this is what Stefan preaches like all day long, right? And we preach this all day long. I preach this, Stefan preaches this, we all preach this all day long. And then the second somebody like hits 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, they're like, oh shit, that actually is the case.
Yeah,
for sure. So I guess kind of the last kind of question I got for you is like, I guess, what do you think has been, with Stefan's support, the partnership, all that kind of stuff, like, what do you think the biggest difference maker has been? Like, what do you think I guess most useful support that you've gotten?
Definitely just the accountability. Like, it sounds so silly, but genuinely, like, it's really hard to try to do it yourself, right? But if there's someone behind you, pushing you, giving you, reminding you why you're doing this, telling you to do the work, and reminding you that it's not going to come easy, it just kind of helps in a way. Like, realistically, all the information is out there, right? You guys all give it out for free. Like, it's all out there, but it's hard to actually take that and use it if there's, if you don't have a reason as to why you're doing it, or you don't have the motivation. But joining a mentorship or a program like this, you have that person pushing you from behind, and reminding you why you joined in the first place. And also having that money, obviously it's not a cheap investment, having that push you as well helps as well in a way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Stefan, I don't know if you have anything else you want to jump in, add, or maybe even context that you could give.
Oh man, I'm just proud of the guy, right? Like, came in, he's a little unsure, right? He's like, I asked him, I was like, oh, how many appointments you book? He definitely lied. He's like, oh, about maybe 6 or 7 a week. That laughed. I was like, we'll do that in a day. And fast forward, I think in like the first 4 days, you book like 50 appointments or something. And I'm just on him. I'm like, yo, it's all in your head, right? You have what you need to do to scale. You just got to man the fuck up, stop being a bitch, and do the work. Sure enough, when we focus on just getting clients, the thing that actually matters, look where we end up. Right. But hey, You put in the work at the end of the day, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You put in the work, and you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But the best part is we're only getting started, right? Like this is just the beginning. So
yeah, and that's kind of what I want to lead into. Like, obviously we hit the 10K month mark in about 2 weeks. What's the next milestone that we're pushing for? Like in your
50K.
head?
50.
50K
Obviously, I want to start hiring as well. And
Yeah.
then pretty much, yeah, have a team in place that can do the work.
Yeah, should be excited. And I'll give you a little bit of tidbit on that too. Getting to 10K a month, going from 0 to 10 is completely different than going from 10 to 50. Right.
Mm.
And so I'm just going to warn you now, right? There's going to be a lot of times in the next month or two, maybe 3, where we're going to have to take a few steps back. We're going to have to break systems. We're going to have to break things down in order to rebuild them up to that 50K a month mark, right? And what I've seen from the experience that I've had is it happens in a couple key stages. 1 is 0 to 10, 2 is 10 to 50, 3 is 50 to 150, and then 4, which is the stage that we're kind of going through with our agency, and Stefan knows about this as well, is going from that like 150 to $500,000 and then $1 million a month mark, right? It's funny. We had a long team call today where I was basically just like reminding our entire team that like we're breaking a lot of things right now for the better of for the longer goal. And I expect that you're going to go through a lot of, you know, those similar things. Obviously with Stefan's support, our support, all the support that you're going to be able to have at your disposal, it'll be a lot easier and it'll be a lot more efficient than if you're doing it on your own. Because the worst part is when you're doing it on your own and you're not with somebody that's done it before. When you're in that phase where everything's going down to 0, or not 0, but you have to take these steps back in order to get to the next level, because you don't have that experience before, you think you're losing it all.
Yeah.
Right. But because you're going to have somebody in your corner that's going to be like, yo, this is totally normal. And now that you can expect that, that'll just be like, you'll just be like, okay, like I'm ready for this. Right. We're going to go down. We're going to take a hit in cash collected this month. We're going to build in these systems. We're going to hire this team. I'm only going to take half as many sales calls so I can find a new closer to close for me, things like that. Right. But I mean, if you can get from 0 to 12K a month cash collected in 2 weeks, I don't see any reason as to why you wouldn't be at 50K a month by the end of the year, if not sooner. But yeah, other than that, I mean, congratulations on your start so far.
Thank you.
That being said,
thank you.
Job not finished, right?
Yeah.
Don't
definitely.
get too complacent. Don't get too.
Race just started.
Oh, I'm making 12K a month now. I'm boss man.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to stay grounded because that'll also help big time.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have anything else. Spawn, you got anything?
As Dylan Wilson would say in a classic fashion, we could sit here and jerk each other's dicks off, or we could get back to doing the thing that'll actually move the needle forward. So you boys can make a choice. I know I happen to choose the latter. Got some work to do, so I got nothing else.
All right, Yegi. Are you in the school community too?
For yours?
Yeah.
No.
Stefan, get this guy in the school community. We got group calls and whatnot. We can connect more often. I want to hang out with you more. Yeah, get him in the school community. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Guys. Well, chat with you guys all later.